Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Roman Reigns will be teaming up with Cody Rhodes this Saturday night at WWE Bad Blood to battle the Bloodline Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. The former rivals recently met at Georgia Tech and agreed to put their differences aside to battle the faction at the premium live event. Reigns used to be the leader of the faction, but they turned their back on him following his loss at WrestleMania. XL original Bloodline members Paul Heyman and Jimmy Uso have also been kicked out of the group. Reigns could intend to reunite the original faction, but those plans might not work out, and he could be forced to pivot. Listed below are 4 directions for Roman Reigns if the original Bloodline does not reunite. 4. Roman Reigns could go after the undisputed WWE Championship. Roman Reigns could take out his frustrations on undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes if he fails to reunite the original Bloodline, despite agreeing to work together this Saturday at Bad Blood. Reigns could still harbor resentment toward the American Nightmare if Rhodes and Reigns fall short in their highly anticipated tag team match against the Bloodline Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu at the PLL this weekend. The original tribal chief could decide to attack Rhodes. Reigns and Rhodes could reignite their rivalry and again battle for the title in the months ahead. Number 3. Reigns could attempt to reform the Shield with Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, aka Jon Moxley and AU, were once known as the Shield, and the faction was incredibly popular among WWE fans. However, the faction disbanded after Seth Rollins betrayed the group on the June 2, 2014 episode of WWE Raw. Rollins was on hiatus for several weeks before returning in the final moments of last night's edition of Raw to get revenge on Bronson Reed. The Visionary also costed Reigns the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania by interfering in the match while dressed in Shield attire. The original tribal chief had the option of hitting Rhodes with a chair but couldn't resist getting a shot in on Rollins for his betrayal a decade ago. The decision cost him dearly, as Reyes was able to capitalize on the distraction and picked up the victory at the shows. Reigns could approach Rollins in the weeks ahead and admit they are at their best when working together. 2. Reigns could become the leader of the new version of the Bloodline. Solo Sikoa has named himself the new tribal chief of the Bloodline and has assembled quite a crew around him. Jacob Fatu currently serves as his enforcer, and Tanga and Talo are the reigning WWE Tag Team champions. Roman Reigns may attempt to beat some sense into Sikoa this Saturday at Bad Blood. After the match, Reigns could approach his former stablemate backstage and offer to return to the group if Sikoa acknowledged him as his tribal chief. 1. Roman Reigns could quit WWE SmackDown. Cody Rhodes established himself as the face of SmackDown during Roman Reigns' hiatus. If the head of the table fails to reunite the original Bloodline, he could ask SmackDown general manager Nick Aldis for a trade or quit to brand entirely. WWE signed a 10-year deal with Netflix to bring Raw to the streaming platform beginning in January 2025. The promotion may want Reigns to be on the Red brand when it moves to Netflix and could have him leave SmackDown in the weeks ahead. Jey Uso departed the Bloodline after losing to Reigns in the Tribal Combat match at SummerSlam 2023 and switched from Rey to SmackDown main event. Jey is now the reigning Intercontinental Champion. Roman Reigns could follow in his footsteps and begin a new journey on Raw due to the frustrations he is experiencing on SmackDown. The WWE Universe has been buzzing with speculation as rumors swirl around Roman Reigns possibly walking away from SmackDown, citing backstage frustrations and creative disagreements after dominating the landscape as the head of the Bloodline. Reigns' future on the blue brand could be uncertain, leading fans to wonder whether this frustration could fuel a long-anticipated reunion of the Shield. But if that doesn't happen, there are also intriguing possibilities for the ones to chart OTC Roman's current faction of allies. Here are 4 possible directions for the OTC if the original bloodline doesn't reunite and the shield doesn't rise again. 1. Solo Sio becomes the new tribal chief ***. If Roman Reigns decides to step away from SmackDown or WWE all together, the natural first reaction would be to consider who would take up the mantle of the tribal chief. One answer is Solo Sio. While Roman's bloodline initially revolved around his cousins, the Usos, Sio has always seemed to be on the cusp of stepping out from the shadows. With his silent but deadly demeanor, Solo has become a feared enforcer and has repeatedly proven his loyalty to Roman. However, with Roman stepping away, there could be an internal struggle within OTC, leading to Sio emerging as a dominant force. The storyline could explore how Solo might seek to claim the throne for himself, possibly even turning against Reigns in a final symbolic passing of the torch. WWE could tease a dramatic moment where Reigns acknowledges Solo as his true successor, solidifying C's new role in the hierarchy of SmackDown. This direction could breathe new life into SmackDown's main event scene, allowing Solo Sio to step into Roman's shoes while still respecting the legacy of the bloodline. 2. Jey Uso's redemption story ***. Since his betrayal of Roman Reigns, Uso has been on a journey of self-discovery, shedding the weight of the bloodline and reclaiming his individual identity. However, if the original bloodline never reforms and Roman officially leaves WWE, could dive deep into Jey's road to redemption. This angle could position Jey as the heart of SmackDown's locker room, a fan favorite who fought to break free from the toxic cycle of family manipulation. With Roman out of the picture, Jey could lead the remaining members of OTC, including his brother Jimmy Uso and Solo, into a new era where loyalty isn't coerced but earned. The redemption arc could culminate in Jey reclaiming the spotlight and building a stable that embodies the complete opposite of the bloodline, oppressive dominance. Instead of ruling with fear, Jey's action would focus on respect and unity, potentially bringing in other SmackDown stars who've suffered at Roman's hands. This storyline would provide Jey a much-deserved push while keeping the legacy of the bloodline alive in spirit. 3. Paul Heyman's alliance with a new monster ***. Paul Heyman has long been an essential figure in Roman Reigns' success as the head of the table, serving as his mouthpiece and strategist. However, if Reigns departs, Mon will be left without his prized client, forcing him to seek new alliances. The potential for a Heyman Guy 2.0 could lead WWE to introduce a monster heel who could dominate in Roman's absence, similar to Brock Lesnar's earlier reign of terror. Imagine a situation where Paul Heyman forms an alliance with a towering force like Bronson Reed, or even a surprise call-up from NXT such as Ilad Dragunov's skill at guiding champions could lead to an immediate rise for any talent he attaches himself to, and the WWE Universe would be keen to see who Heyman would anoint as the next dominant figure in SmackDown's landscape. This partnership could spark a new era of destruction, with Mon leading his new monster into brutal feuds against OTC. Solo Sio, Uso, and Jimmy Uso would all have to unite to take down this new threat, adding a different layer of tension and story development. In the absence of Roman Reigns, 4. The bloodline reborn with new members ***. If Roman Reigns doesn't reunite with the Usos or stays off television for an extended period, there's still the possibility of the OTC expanding or morphing into a new version of the bloodline. With fresh faces, WWE could bring in new talent to re-establish the family's dominance on SmackDown. Imagine the arrival of Jacob Fatu, a powerhouse from the Illinois wrestling family, making his debut on SmackDown as a Samoan cousin to Roman. Jacob could instantly add credibility and danger to the bloodline, possibly positioning himself as the new enforcer or even the new leader. Fans have long speculated about Fatu's potential in WWE, and this could be the perfect time to pull the trigger on his debut. Another option could involve WWE developing a storyline where members of Roman's extended family, or even friends of the family like Tamina or The Rock's daughter Ava Raine, step up to keep the bloodline legacy alive. WWE could even have a surprise inclusion of a female wrestler, pushing the boundaries of the faction's traditional structure. This would also pave the way for cross-gender alliances, tag teams, and storylines that haven't been seen before within the bloodline arc. Bringing in new members would not only keep the faction alive, but also inject fresh rivalries and directions into the faction, allowing it to evolve without necessarily needing Roman to lead them. It would be a way to carry forward the legacy without completely depending on its original core, as Roman Reigns potentially faces the prospect of leaving WWE or stepping back from his dominant role on SmackDown. The future of his faction and SmackDown as a whole hangs in the balance, whether it's Solo Sikoa stepping up as the new tribal chief, Juso leading a redemptive faction, Paul Heyman finding a new monster, or the bloodline expanding with new members. We have several exciting directions they can explore for the OTC. Each of these scenarios would not only honor the legacy Roman Reigns has built as the tribal chief, but also open the door for new faces, new stories, and new possibilities that could shape WWE's future. Regardless of which path WWE takes, one thing is for certain: the story of Roman Reigns, the bloodline, and the OTC is far from over. The WWE Universe can only wait to see what twists and turns lie ahead in this ever-evolving saga.